Okay, we're going to go ahead and talk about subtracting mixed numbers. Okay, in your previous lesson, you were adding mixed numbers. Remember, you did 2 1/4 plus 1 2/3. Okay, remember you lined them up vertically, which is what you'll do with subtraction. And then you went ahead and added these fractions. You had to turn them into common denominators, and you added the whole numbers. Okay, well, subtracting is going to be pretty much the same thing. Okay, subtraction, there's just a few instances where it gets a little trickier because we have to do some regrouping, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So let's do 3 3/4 minus 1 2/3. All right, okay, so I've written my problem vertically. Okay, so we go ahead and look at the fractions first, okay? So we want to subtract 2/3 from 3/4. Can we do that right now without doing anything? No, we have to get this common denominator. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite them off to the side. So 4 and 3, what's the least common multiple of 4 and 3? 12. Okay, so we'll do this 12. We did 4 times 3, so 3 times 3. Okay, that gives us 9/12. Okay, and then we had 12 here, so we did 3 times 4 to get 12. 2 times 4. All right. Okay, so now we've got 9/12 take away 8/12. Can we go ahead and subtract them? Yeah. Okay, so 9 minus 8 is 1, and then the 12 just stays the same. Okay, so now that we've done the fractions, we can go ahead and do the whole numbers. 3 minus 1, well, that's 2. Okay, so my answer is 2 1/12. Okay, let's work out one more example where we don't have to do any regrouping. All right, 6 2/3 minus 4 1/6. All right, so we look at the fractions first. Can we just subtract them? Nope, we got to get common denominator. Okay, so the common denominator of 3 and 6 would be 6. Okay, so this one we just leave alone, so actually I don't even need to do anything right here. This one, we're going to get 6. 3 times 2, 2 times 2, so that gives me 4, 6. All right. Okay, so now 4, 6 minus 1, 6. Okay, that's 3, 6, right? I'm going to subtract 4 minus 1 and then leave the 6 alone. Then we do the whole number. 6 minus 4 is 2. Okay, let's look at our answer. 2 3, 6, can we leave that alone? No, we have to simplify. 2 3, 6, that's the same thing as 2 1/2. Remember, we always have to put our answers in simplest form. Okay. So that's subtracting mixed numbers where we don't have to do any regrouping, okay? These next examples are a little trickier because we'll have to regroup. Okay, so we got 6 1/4 minus 2 2/3. Okay, so again, always write vertically, always start with the fractions, okay? We've got 4 and 3 right off the bat. We know we've got to get a common denominator, okay? So common denominator 4 and 3, that'd be 12. Okay, so we'll rewrite them off to the side. Okay, 4 times 3, 1 times 3. That's the same thing as 3/12. 3 times 4, 2 times 4, 8/12. Okay, so now we can go ahead and subtract. But what's my problem? Yeah, I've got to take 8/12 away from 3/12. There's not enough. Okay, so in this instance, we have to regroup. Okay, so the 3/12 needs more. It's got to borrow some more, and he's got this whole number over here, 6. Okay, so 3/12 is going to go borrow one whole from the 6. So we're going to borrow one whole, which now makes the 6 a 5. Okay, so we're going to add that one whole to 3/12. Okay, I mean, we can just go plus 1, but then we've got the whole mixed number, subtracting a fraction. What we're going to do is we've got to turn that whole into a fraction that we can add to 3/12 very easily. Okay, so if you think about this, with fractions, any number that's the same on the top as the bottom, like say 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, these are all wholes. 2/2 of Artisan Fly, that's one whole. We've got 2 pieces, 2 are full. It's a whole. 3/3, 4/4. Okay, so we're going to turn this 1 whole into a fraction that we can add to 3/12. But again, we're going to write the same number on top as the bottom to represent 1 whole. So in this case, if I'm adding to 3/12, I probably want my denominator to be 12. Then it's easy to add. Okay, so, and if it's 1 whole, I have to have the same number on top as the bottom. So I'm going to add 12/12. That's that 1 whole turned into 12/12. Still equals 1 whole. It's just written as a fraction. Okay, now I'm going to add. Okay, 3/12. I already had that, plus the 1 whole that I just borrowed from the 6. So that becomes 15/12. All right, so now do I have enough to pull 8 from that? Yeah, now I can do it. Okay, so 15 take away 8. That's 7, and again, my denominator stays the same. Now I'm going to add my whole numbers. Okay, now this is no longer a 6 because we borrowed that 1 whole to add over there. So we got 5 minus 2, 3 and 7/12 is my answer. And I'm going to always check. 7/12, is that in simplest form? Yeah. All right, let's work out another. All right, 9 2/5 minus 4 3/4. Okay, so right off the bat, look at the fractions. Let's go ahead and get a common denominator. All right, so common denominator 5 and 4, least common multiple is 20. Okay, 20. Okay, so 4 times 5, so 3 times 5, that's 15. Okay, 5 times 4, 2 times 4, 8. Okay, so now I've written the fractions with the common denominator. Okay, but now we've run into that problem. Okay, I got to pull 15 from this 8. Can I do that? No. Okay, so this is where we need to regroup. Okay, so we need to borrow 1 whole from the 9. Okay, so the 9 becomes an 8. Okay, now we're pulling that 1 whole to add to the 8/20. Now if you remember, we're turning that whole into a fraction where the top and the bottom number are the same because that equals a whole. Okay, now I'm going to add to something over 20, so that's what I want my denominator to be, 20. So we're going to make the top number 20 as well. Okay, so now I get 28 over 20. Okay, and I know that's an improper fraction, and that's okay because we're going to be pulling a bunch out of it, and by the time we get down here, it won't be an improper fraction. Okay, so 28 minus 15. Okay, so that's 13, and then the 20 stays the same. Okay, and then 8 minus 4, that's 4. Okay, so 4 and 13/20. Okay, let's double check. Is the simplest form? Yes. All right. Okay, now sometimes you may have instances like this. Okay, where you're subtracting a mixed number from just a whole number. Okay, so you need to subtract 3/4, but there's nothing there. Okay, so we need to get a fraction there. So it's going to be kind of the same idea. So this is like 0, 0. Okay, so we need to borrow from the 9, which becomes an 8. Okay, so we're going to turn that 1 whole into a fraction that we can subtract 3/4 from. Okay, so we probably want the denominator to be 4 because if we have the denominator the same, it's pretty easy then to just subtract or add. Okay, so the denominator will be 4, and since it's 1 whole, you've got to have the same number on the bottom as you do the top, so the top's got to be 4. Okay, so now we can go ahead and subtract 4 minus 3, that's 1, denominator stays the same, 8 minus 2, that's 6. Okay, that is our answer. 1/4 is in lowest terms. Let's work out one more where we're subtracting a mixed number from a whole number. Okay, we got 10. Take away 2 3/8. All right, so I know this flare is driving me crazy. All right, so let's go ahead, regroup. Okay, there's no fraction here for us to subtract the 3/8 from, so we got to get one. So we're going to borrow 1 whole from the 10. That becomes a 9. So we're going to write a fraction right here. And again, we're going to subtract 3/8 from it. So we probably want 8 as our denominator, right? So it's going to be 8 over 8 because, again, it's the number on the top and bottom. That equals 1 whole. We've got 8 pieces. 8 of them are full. That's 1 whole. Okay, so 8 minus 3, that's 5. 8. 9 minus 2, is 7. Okay, double check. Is this simplest form? Yes. So that's our answer. All right, so you should see problems that involve regrouping, some that don't involve regrouping, but either way, just be very careful, take your time, and good luck. Thanks.